much to my chagrin here, I was peppered with people very upset, telling me the alarmist had to check in. And the alarmists were pounding the table, the card-carrying trolls. I wondered how far into the future would it take for the trolls to come crawling out from behind the refrigerator? Because remember, we had the trolls before the playoffs started when it comes to the Rams. They're not going to win. The all-star teams never win. Troy Aikman of Cowboy fame was one of the trolls. He was leading the charge during the season saying these things never work out. Then when the playoffs started, the Rams were in trouble playing the Cardinals. They were going to lose to Alligator Arms Murray, the guy that scrubbed his social media of the Cardinal logo. They were going to lose to him. And then, the Rams won that game in a rout or a root. And then it's like, well, nobody beats Tom Brady in the playoffs. Are you kidding me? Tom Brady? Are you effing out of your mind? Well, then the Rams went to Tampa. We know what happened. They won the game dramatically. Tremendous drive by Matthew Stafford. But then it was like, come on. Jimmy G's got the magic sauce. He's got the magic sauce. And the Niners, team of destiny, they own the Rams. We heard that from the trolls. At every step of the way, the trolls have been completely wrong. At every step of the way, they have shot their shot and missed the entire backboard when it comes to the Rams. And now, because what else are you going to do if you're a troll? They're moving the goalposts, right? They're claiming that, I saw the parade. It wasn't big enough. The turnout wasn't big enough. The Rams should be humiliated. Yeah, all right. So let us discuss the question. Let's address the trolls. You're never supposed to do that, but we will address the trolls here. Why not? All right, so for the trolls, and the question is, should the Rams be embarrassed, mortified by the crowd at the parade, the championship parade? So, of course, shaking my head no on this. No. I've got haberdashery, infestation, and Taylor Swift. And if you're one of the trolls, you might want to start taking notes because you're about to learn something about life in sports. All right, now, kicking off the festivities here. I'm not a big parade guy, but I've seen a lot of them. I've been to some parades in the past over the years. The Rams parade, what we witnessed there, was unparalleled. This was the quintessential celebration that I have witnessed in the NFL. I'll tell you why. Because so many of these things are phony. They're fake, right? There's a lot of people there that aren't real fans. What we saw there, and this is why it's really bothering a lot of people around the fandom, the trolls out there, because these were real fans of the Rams. These were authentic fans, genuine fans, the real McCoy. And they know deep down, the people criticizing the turnout there know that they are part of a fake fan base, whatever team they like. For example, I've seen the Lakers at some of these parades, bunch of bandwagon jumpers, bunch of fake people that want to be seen and all that nonsense. You saw none of that, right? These events often get hijacked. They get hijacked by bandwagon jumping losers that aren't real fans. The Rams celebration, what we witnessed there was unvarnished fandom. It was wonderful. It was the nectar of the gods of sports, right? It's kind of like going to the haberdashery and getting one of those old school members only jackets, because the Ram fandom, this is the cool kids club, right? I mean, you're not part of a group of bandwagon fans here. From what I saw, these were bona fide lovers of the Ram horns. And it looked to me like a generational situation. These are people whose families were Ram fans, who grew up watching Jackie Slater and Jack Snow and Vince Ferragamo and Eric Dickerson and Jim Everett and Kevin Green, may he rest in peace, Jack Youngblood, the great Fred Dreyer, friend of the show. And heck, there's probably some kids, their grandparents maybe, I don't know, maybe their parents, if they're depending how old they are, watch the Fearsome Foursome. Shout out Deacon Jones and Merlin Olsen. They're gone too. Now, furthermore, as for the slander, and that's what it is, slander that is coming at the Rams, it goes with the territory, right? It goes with the territory. Because if you look at the alphabet, I'd like you to go to the letter J, capital J, because what's going on here is jealousy. Jealousy. When you're atop the food chain, that's where the Rams are right now. They're at the very top of the food chain. You got to deal with the infestation of the parasites that are out, the piss ants that are out. It comes with the Lombardi, right? In this case, there's a lot of emphasis. I witnessed a lot of Raider anger. I get it. I'd be embarrassed if I was a Raider fan. So I would point the finger at the Rams.
Greatness of the Raiders.
The 49ers. This is really humiliating for the 49ers, that they had a hostile takeover of SoFi Stadium, or as our friend Helmet Man calls it, Sofa Stadium, and hostile takeover and all that, and they lost the game. How embarrassing. How embarrassing is that? So I get it. You're frustrated by your team's incompetence, and these varmints are projecting their feelings on the Rams. And it's a way of you telling me you wish you were a Ram fan without telling me you wish you were a Ram fan. I get it. It's okay, right? I will save you a seat on the back of the Ram flotilla if you would like. And let your animosity kind of bleed out a little bit, right? The absurd whining, let that do the talking. And the Los Angeles football team did things the right way, not the normal way. They went unorthodox. They broke the orthodoxy of football, turning 4 first-round draft picks into a championship. That is the bounty paid for the great Jalen Ramsey, Hall of Fame defensive back, and Matthew Stafford, who, if he plays like he did this past year, will also end up in the Hall of Fame. And they gambled. They hit the jackpot. And what do these other teams do? No, they hoard draft picks. They save draft picks. Right? Remember the Raiders a couple years ago when they were in Oakland? They had this amazing linebacker, and they're like, oh, man, what are we going to do? Well, let's trade him to the Bears. We'll get a bunch of draft picks. We'll be good. Well, they'll have those draft picks work out. Yeah, not so much. All right, now, the last point on this. So you look at the short term and the long term on these things, but resentment over the size of the Ram fandom at the parade is the personification of bitterness. And it's green with envy. It's a bunch of unhinged whack jobs. As we said, we laid it all out for you. It kind of reminds you of the great line from Taylor Swift, friend of the show, unless she's not. Haters gonna hate, right? Haters gonna hate. And we have now turned parades. I'm not sure when this happened because it didn't. When I got into the business, when I got into sports radio in the Stone Age, this was never a thing. At some point, this became a thing now where, and I blame politics more than anything, but it's now, well, we're going to judge you based on the parade. It's like a urinating match, a spitting match. It reminds me over the debate over how many people showed up to the National Mall for the presidential inauguration. And these are always guesstimates. They're always guesstimates. Nobody knows for sure. Nobody's out there with turnstiles counting how many people are there. It's an exercise in futility as well as speculation. The numbers are never right. Remember when the Cubs won the World Series years ago, and they said there was I think it was the largest mass of humanity, one of the 5 largest get-togethers of humanity in the history of recorded, on the planet. They were going on and on, and it was bullcrap. It was all bullcrap, right? But if you want to see what a real fan base looks like, if you want to learn what real, authentic, good fans, good to the bone, not bandwagon fans looks like, I recommend, it's on my Twitter page right now. Check out the Sea of Humanity. All right, just look at that. There's a photo of Aaron Donald surrounded by the real Ram fans. And as Buzz Lightyear said, it's to infinity and beyond for the Ram fan base, though. So that was wonderful. Parade is done now. Now we're a little bit closer to the silly season, which is what we like. The rumor, breaking down, slicing up rumors, which is what we're here for. Back to the salt mines of the NFL offseason and all that. But there are more stories to come from this particular parade. So it's not over yet. We're not done with that by any means.